told them
You're
that.
gonna wanna know what you're working with before you start.
I told them we were gonna be doing the one for the marsh restoration,
Mhm.
and if they wanna piggyback on that, maybe we can get some help paying for it. Whoever is gonna pay for this. We need to, or maybe there's an economy of scale where if you have more work done, the price might be a little reasonable. Better. I don't know.
It's not incredibly expensive to have someone do that.
That's a pretty big area. There's a lot
Well,
of-
is it just really this one section?
No, they have to look at, to do wetland delineation, you gotta start and do the whole thing and get an idea if there's any wetlands at all on the property. The EM will wanna know that. I mean, they can tell by walking up to where the wetlands are probably gonna be, but
Right, but the
they'll
principal
need to be a
focus
formal
will be on that.
delineation. So that would be the first. Any other things?
They
Carol,
don't
you
need to
think?
delineate the whole property, they
Right.
just need to delineate the proposed path.
Right, just the quarter where the path's gonna go.
Okay.
Are there any issues with the non-permeable blacktop being that close to the?
I was concerned about that issue, but,
Significant concern.
well, we could raise that as an issue. What Bob said last night was that in all the permitting that he's done when he was at DEM under planning and development, that the bike paths that they've done all over the state, they've had some significant wetlands that they've had to deal with. And of all the surfaces they've talked about, this seemed to be the only surface that works.
Those have also been attracting much larger numbers of
Yeah.
public than this is likely to.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with raising that issue. He said there's crushed stone, there's other surfaces you can use, but
But
he
then
was
you have a
looking-
use issue.
he was looking at a surface that would not have to be maintained.
Right.
And could hold up to, New England weather, and it wouldn't eliminate certain use.
You'd be
If
open
it's
to
crushed
wider-
stone, there's only a
wider
limit to it.
Now, there may be ways of ameliorating some of the,
And you can't ride a bike on crushed stone unless you have a law.
and there may be ways of ameliorating some of the problems with paved surface. I don't know, they create a grid surface or they create, I don't know. But we could put that in our letter, that's an issue we'd be concerned about as a comment.
Yeah, it's a shame to have to blacktop it, but then again, I think it's a good point that you do limit it, certain groups from using it as easily. If it's, if it's a, I'm in favor of permeable surfaces, but
And I think Bob mentioned last night
you're not
that,
gonna rollerblade on it.
right, historically, other places that have tried other mediums eventually abandon them
Black,
and
they
went to
did say
blacktop.
that, yeah. You can limit use by the surface you put down, but if you put.
Not even
blacktop-
use, it was maintenance
Yeah.
over time. They found that, I guess, blacktop, which I totally hate, is the way to go.
The reason for the 12-foot wide was to get the town vehicles in there, right?
Yes.
Well, it's 12-foot total, but
12
it's
foot.
10-foot pavement.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was 12 and 2.
12 and 2.
You said-
No, sorry, it's
Okay,
12.
you said, okay, two, so it's 12-foot wide. How about
Two
that?
on the edge.
Carol has some questions, I can see in her minds running. I mean, I think DEM's gonna ask these questions anyway. They're gonna ask
Sure.
why permeable surface can't be used.
Yeah, they're not.
And they may require permeable surface in the drinking watershed, I don't know, so, but we can,
So how wide is the South County bike path or the East Bay bike path?
This, according to Stan, yeah.
Because that's, I mean, what's a
It's
standard
two.
road size?
What's-
It's 11, right? Minimum road size?
each lane, I think each lane is limited 12. But don't forget, you got a two-way bike path, that's what, all the East Bay is
Right.
two-way.
Two-way.
So you can car,
Right.
bicycle both directions,
Right.
without worrying about running into each other. Any other thoughts, Carol? Maureen?
Do we need
Pat?
to make recommendations about pet regulations? I mean, that's.
That would be later, that would be later,
Yeah.
what you're gonna allow in there.
What kind of regulations?
Like what, if you bring your dog in, leash laws, all that sort of.
Yeah, anybody have any problem with the meandering? Understand the meandering?
Meandering?
Okay. How about the fence?
5 feet.
Five
Address
black chain
security
link fence.
issues.
Well, Steve has been very protective.
I don't
of
It's
it.
don't care for the fence.
He's a little paranoid about it.
Can you walk there now?
Oh, you can walk
Yeah,
there.
You can walk there.
Even with the fence here, you can walk there without, even with the
And
fence.
I don't know why the fence is,
That's
why is
what-
the existing fence not sufficient?
There's no fence. There's no
Okay,
fence.
so why then,
There is.
suddenly
no
now,
fence.
because it's a designated path, and it's
Right.
not
Right,
more
technically now
use.
you're not allowed.
He's trying to isolate the users from the reservoir.
Well, yeah, so people don't fish in
Throw
there, or go swim in there, throw trash in
Throw a
there,
bottle, water
or
bottle.
poison it, or do whatever.
Can do
Which,
that.
my feeling about the fence is,
You can do that from North Road.
right, exactly. If somebody wants to throw garbage, they're going to throw garbage. The fence isn't going to stop them.
Just throw cyanide in there, it's just easy from the
I don't
road.
know
Whereas it is
what the
very
fence is gonna
intrusive.
stop and then for anybody except the.
But it's not like a pool, you don't have to, we don't have to legal obligation to fence it.
No.
No.
It's a shame. that
Keep
that's
people from
it's
jumping
really
in
not
or-
very
Maybe there's
efficient.
liability, just to say.
There might be some
there's-
That
liability.
might be, I don't know.
We should think about.
It's possible that since you're allowing access by right or whatever now, there may be
You're
liability.
making it much more accessible.
Right. Let me ask you this one, what about wildlife access with a fence? Think you're gonna create any problems there?
You
Where
can
would the
jump
fence
in.
be at the foot?
Fence is gonna go from here,
But at the toe of the dam?
the toe of the dam slope, and I think it's gonna end right there. I don't know whether that means fence or not. Does that mean fence? Is that
That's
just
just
a
the
stone
old
wall,
road.
right?
That's a stone
So
wall,
the fence would end there.
yeah.
Do you see any problem with wildlife access? That we need to,
Oh, not for wildlife, it's just.
Okay. Yeah, I don't either. That's the only comment I wrote last night was.
It's just gonna be ugly.
Well, there's no question that
Have you seen the
wildlife
fence
does
the
move from
new,
there to there.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. I mean, you are correct.
Over in Quonset, where they put the new shopping center.
I
Yeah.
haven't been there yet.
If you go back there, they put a bike path, and they put one of these black vinyl
Oh, I know
fences.
what
up.
the-
Doesn't look bad.
Bad.
It looks much better than a
Then it's
Chain
chain
link.
link.
regular
Silver.
chain link,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do they make it in green? Why don't they make it in
They
green?
do
Make
make
it
it
in green.
yeah.
We should, we could.
Maybe we should make that recommendation.
Oh,
Well,
no,
it's $2 more for it.
Does it really? Green vinyl. Vinyl is fine. And 5 feet, I guess, is probably the minimum
Yeah.
that Steve feels comfortable with, so. All right, any other, let's see, I don't have any other notes I kept. Anybody else have any other comments?
What is our recommendation on the blacktop?
We hate it,
Other
but
than concern?
Well, I mean,
It's not
do we
permanent.
raise,
What
do we,
What do we say?
Carol, what do you think? What's your thoughts? I mean, it's not a permeable surface. We're putting an impermeable surface in the
I mean, I
watershed.
think to force the issue for anything else, either it's gonna be a bike path or it's,
Not.
it shouldn't be there, and it's not gonna be. And you're not gonna make a bike path that's anything other than blacktop and have it be accessible for the purposes that it's being proposed.
Right.
I don't
Without a
know,
lot
I'm
of-
crazy about it,
Without a
but,
lot of maintenance.
yeah, I mean, if you want to accomplish a multi-use bike path, then I don't think you have much choice.
Well, and then we can say that we have concerns about blacktop.
Is that the best choice?
But no, we can say we have concerns about the blacktop surface. Are there iterations of blacktop where you allow some permeability? I think there's some permeable surfaces. It seems to me there's some new permeable.
They're really
There's some new-
expensive.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get it, something like
There's
that.
bricks in the holes there.
I mean, you only need it right there. You don't need it everywhere else.
okay, we looked at, okay, here's blacktop bike path elsewhere. And we did look at other
Surfaces.
surfaces.
Usually it's crushed stone, and that's not the only stone
And
dust.
then you have to weigh out dollars,
Yeah,
use dollars, you
Maintenance.
know, maintenance.
yeah. Crushed stone is nice, but it requires a lot of maintenance, especially after a good rainstorm. All right, so we just want to say we do have concerns about it, but Carol, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have, I mean, I don't,
Okay. Anybody else? Maybe we just raise it as an issue that we have concern about, that's all.
We have concerns
I think
with
it's
the
our-
scope of the goal. We're
Right.
supportive.
Okay.
what else you can.
Yeah, so I think it's such a great idea to be able to have people do that.
Okay, because it would be nice to send a letter to the committee saying that we reviewed the proposal, we like it, we feel that, these are the only questions we had or concerns we had, and let's leave it at that. Is that reasonable?
Well done.
You know, the interesting thing is, this is the greenway that was accepted by the council in January of '02. Mary
Wow.
Hutchinson did. It's exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah, I just found that the other day in my files, I said, Jesus, they're following the old plan. All right, so we just send a quick memo to them, is everybody like that? I think so, we reviewed the plan, we don't have any problems, these are the only issues that we,
Oh, we're
Recommend
supportive,
that.
not only do.
oh yeah, we can say we support it, we recommend that they do the wetland delineation, which I know they already know, but it's nice to go on record saying that. But we do have some concerns about the blacktop surface, but we understand that that may be the best choice, and that maybe a green vinyl fence would be.
Wouldn't that be a
black.
great invention if somebody could invent something that works like blacktop,
Yeah.
holds up like blacktop?
They have
doesn't
permeable
look like
surfaces.
blacktop?
But they're very expensive ones. I've seen them out there.
We were looking at it for say
permeable.
today, and we couldn't get enough funding, it was like
Yeah,
10
they're,
times.
Oh, really?
Don't they have an asphalt surface that lets the water
Exactly.
percolate
That's
through,
it.
but in the northeast where you're putting salt and sand on the road, it floods
Freezing
up,
it.
it stops, it freezes.
Freezing and thawing, yeah.
we looked at these, waterproof tiles,
Yeah,
just like go rob the bank first.
Yeah, but they're cheap.
okay, so we'll do, send a memo to them, just